Ija biya bokode. Abranti bi ni di nkomo. Osi oye drugs. Ofeso jai. Otumi jai be 1 month. Na wasan ko back. Is it possible so be oye drugs? Or no ankasa betumi jai?
No ankasa betumi jai. One, there are 3 bases on no ankasa betumi jai. One, a divine.
That is say if you so
wankasa wan ho de pa de enye wo ase na Saul Daniel Paul on his way of Damascus onya divine intervention bi e ma no sesan ya sesan de din o aji se bibisa. Apart from that, addiction it can say a brain relapsing disease with the obsession characterized by the compulsion to use mind-altering substances. You
break it down. Addiction, adrimu
yadie with a special obsession. A corner.
Not just obia or your drugs or adrimu yare.
Or yare. Yes, or yare. We yare and say when ya a corner. A force with the compulsion and maufa and neoma and mawa dream will touch ma.
Okay, it doesn't mean say obia or friend bonibia will not a problem.
Obia or friend bonibia cycle or problem with the psychic. What dream want touch ma.
Obia or friend bonibia
or friend bonibia. And rubonene fano stages. You definitely start from the use state. We use now the same substance you use becomes a recreational facility. It will use soon as a recreational facility. After you come and abuse it, which means you use it intermittently, off time and on time. After you categorize all these 3 stages, you have become an addict.
What say yare bia ye die dro na edesa obi a wako into drugs or ye cocaine or ye die kekeka ho no edro bi wo a ye de man obetimi jai
since time I discover yare no up to present day time there has not been any medical success story as to yasa obi of addiction. Since I'm a kind, they say a brain relapsing disease characterized with the obsession with a compulsion to use mind-altering substances. And drugs, or whatever alcohol or abuse, when you don't get it, you react to it by way of cravings, unusual feeling.
And then I'm afraid of taking cold techie.
So the cold techie surrounding the use of whatever you do can be minimized.
Medically,
but aside that, it is not a remedy to your addiction.
So it means medically, a drug the man I say they are substitute.
They are substitute, and most of indrona they substitute in sedatives. Now sedative.
It means it is said so you can even be addicted to some
getting addicted to the treatment substances.
Who you cocaine for how long?
Me no drug for 27 years of my life.
27 years of your life?
Yes.
I
was using heroin and cocaine.
Yes. Now you weed, maybe.
Weed, they are not at the start here.
I will start it from weed.
Yes.
And I'll call heroin. And I'll call.
Now the thing is, the cocaine and the heroin they go together.
Okay.
Because cocaine itself is a tranquilizer on its own. And heroin is sedative. So because a cocaine is a tranquilizer, I don't say yare to use mind-altering substances. So these 2 things are agents of altering the state of your mind. The tranquilizer is the kind that it speeds your rate of reaction. Not just say the processes in the mind speed to overperform irrespective of the normal capacity. Also the sedative also slow the process of thinking. The 2 go together because you cannot use only the tranquilizer and think you are okay, but after that use you have to sedate yourself with the heroin to become normal again.
Okay, but I say, I think that there's a very good education. It's only 20, how many?
27 years of addiction.
Papa,
my ton fear, me papa the jam in India.
Papa,
I'm a product of Achimota Secondary School, me called tech. And due to peer pressure and other exponential factors, I fell victim to the use of drugs. And these drugs took me to places with incidents and scenes.
And you papa eja we
fear tesano na matna all me life.
And I will ton with fear.
Ton fear no.
And I the year drugs.
Me the year drugs.
If you never saying.
If you 8-bedroom house.
O ton here.
My ton outright.
You say all that dream where you are.
And only torn in my flesh and I say to myself, say I will never touch on addiction again.
Say I will be that.
Sisi me will be that. My papa had 2 estates in the metropolis of Tesam. Baku a matrimonial home. It's a living mammy until pass away recently. But the other one now subsidizing finances. And no, at a point in time, because of my educational exposure, I made documents out of it. Me
1 or 4G documents.
Affidavit.
And then now
the desire for the drugs I'm craving for, I cannot work to finish that. So the best way to finish my addiction was to play smart and clever. So in the bid of these processes, I ended up in prison. Mako prison 7 times.
Mako prison 7 times.
Me Kweku Gardiner. Uko YouTube, obehu.
Enti you call someone prison near Kweku Gardiner.
OBIBINI from 2012.
In someone now die.
In someone admission prison. It is a you go on transfer depending on your sentence.
How many transfers in our coin?
Mako transfer 7 of
him now.
Mako from place fully camp prisons. We James Camp prison. Mako fully Mako Sunyani prisons. Mako Techima your camp prison so over.
It was you do some because and someone prison the other time they call almost step 1 it didn't no money
evil
that means now we evil pa
they say me evil pa mama we too smart for the devil to the extent said
that means some crabs coming no
sikana me here to satisfy my addiction yes sir sure person metropolis ejuwa na me te hoye ne say me per strategic area area bia asase bi da ho a omo ani sheda me ho no na ma mountain AMA signpost ma me nchire we djuma no me dey akọ prison na nti reference no YouTube Kweku Gardiner ndusa mo hwa mo behu nti no me mountain AMA signpost na matro with the inscription say government allocated site for a community hospital. It is a only true owner at a point in time you stand liable to the charge of encroachment because every land in the country owes allegiance to the state. By deed of lease. Now the assassinats our title on this and it be mountain signpost now. People will come in claiming to be owners based on encroachment charge, make you make a commitment. That is my source of.
You take it from all parties.
All parties, irrespective of background or education.
Why would you?
Science relocate assassin class some different.
Now
but I've gone too far. Send the title registry in form 2, in form C, now. Prepare. And this all happened because of the death of my father. Ojame. The testamentary evidence was stating ownership of properties and because of this same drug I was so exposed early just after O level say no say me nyam dey me papa equity to me no na me here to me so in fact to her grave is my stand the stigma attached to a son like me irrespective of all sources or to be the financier, me think yourself who is going to school to be somebody only to turn back and start behind the back.
for you to walk into the police station.
It is even easier here than elsewhere. I've tried it several times over and over. The police station is the most loose place to commit any kind of crime. Also, Uko police quarters, we are somewhere police phobia to me. Almost perception, no. But also the best place I'm watching me pan and fire one of us. We are there. Oh, police quarters, we met a test. The police there for many of them share war. It's an open many of them now move on and so on. Almost free Nancy about it, almost step down, and no one Nancy, all the opportunities are on the veranda. They are never secured. Oh, the cheap sauce crowd, we just say, me pay any fast cash, I mean, person may use my dream, but just a touch and take a police depot.
Touch and take.
Touch and take. A police depot. Because most of the time, no, we practice it pill free and we graduate here to the extent.
What are you saying?
Pill free, the unnecessary taking. Starting fifty. Me fa me mama dia, me fa me mama to my cotton, me fa away. We got to a time my mother started writing on her properties. Kweku, if you perchance take this, where will you spend eternity? Kweku, if you perchance take this, where will you? So that thing was ringing a bell always in my mind. So I decided to just forget about the home and start something outside.
You know why easy?
Very easy. I don't put the police people. David.
Gardiner.
Look at this. There was a time I'm who said, I know internal revenue. Their main aim and objective is to collect taxes and build the nation with taxes. But I had a perception say whatever they collected in one way or the other, either it's not being accounted for well or finances are going the wrong way. So I'm using myself as a sample space to investigate that thing.
You are now a private investigator.
This is the perception I had. And I made billions out of this deal. I had a mate who was working at Ketnet, a VAT outfit. In Tiaholo, me a graphics designer, IT. Inti minya VAT letterhead nike number drafting me audit letters.
Now you want to audit
and I say tax, you know, me audit or returns. Now me my in-depth now film the letter but in the
name of
VAT. Inti within 21 days no one on that sa bid now you close your outfit up. I have an impersonating police with me. So I come in that place, we will receipt book, we will VAT ID card, we will VAT file. I'm doing there, but just to prove to you, sir. And I made all those things out of the negligence of superior people in the organization, VAT, and the discussion. We know marginal court, high court. I was charged for impersonation and causing financial loss to the state.
It's in a prison.
Me about my third time on the co prison. It me deal until they had about 100 people with one receipt. Because me was stamped, paid, me bibia or until me ban out the car 120 million. I'll come to a mutual understanding with you, sir. Meaning, say, your mama day. Give me an amount of 50 million. I'll give you a paid receipt and you give me myself some 5 million. By all means, there will be a amicable settlement. It is one of these priests and no sorry I may call VAT. Just test and getting it. May call our coffee family. Souvenirs be our juma.
And then a VAT office that will be
negligence on their side. Only a juma ni come to make break his code way. No. So the commissioner for VAT, Mr. Ventilenchen, and Mr. Samuel Blankson, at a point in time, were drawing a legal tussle. They were held for negligence. That was my charge. For that is my opening up into that crime. Until at the end of the day, instead of about a 4-year sentence, they gave me 8 months.
Your sentence is 8 months.
Sentence me 8 months.
For
yes, because the whole legal tussle now is an eye opener to the state. Say the people are working on basis of negligence. Until that is the proof I wanted to use myself for.
Even the Gardiner Kweku.
So
Kweku what have you promo?
My brain pool. Can we national security and some family now? Now we are there. We try how to go.
Okay, do you think say you bet me abo mine wo kwan bi so?
So many ways, especially crime.
Me ba cho mo fa camera into Kweku Gardiner so man.
So many.
Na me bisa no question 1 2
so many ways.
Ehu nya me pa. Me pese utumi kire me say ye foul Ghana hapa with esuenhu a wo any crimes ne boni a boni de wedi bi pa ana
true because we have 27 years of addiction. Now we have the value of money has been committed into addiction. Me so many addict of low intake.
Hey,
no, I don't take boosters because it is impure. The top pure one now, you're adulterating with anything.
Into no a day, now spend
a day. Me average daily 500.
500 cedis.
5 million. 500 cedis. Because I take 2 grams of rock, 1 gram of heroin. And from even from this 90s, because we were secondary school 91, 92, I was doing my service in Kweku in my district.
What was you?
I am a Kotek. And you know, drug no became my obsession.
It is I say information on crimes pa.
Seriously, and drug in particular.
Then I'll be to my mine.
On my way.
You benefit you and then I'll be
firstly, me hear commitment with the backing of logistics. Any crime prone thing, I'll lay myself to do it for them. There are so many informations that they know it's on the platform, but as to the proof, I'm there for them. I want to be used as an instrument of evidence to show them the truth. Any kind of crime, be it first degree, second degree, felony, offense.
Why a robbery that?
Robbery. The mean crime is more than robbery because you need to be armed.
Were you armed?
So many instances.
Now we're armed. It's all that way.
I'm living in an environment that be very observant. Let me give you this scene. Around Kaneshi Big Boss Lane,
Echo, I would me runabout.
Echo, I would me runabout, in the play area because drug joint to be all. I mean, that kind of me find the area.
Runabout, yes, I will cut up.
You're hungry me, Hawkeye, okay. Move through Big Boss.
Okay.
Go back and she baby, man, no ever.
No.
I school the hall, government school, no. Better this one. I want to cure me drone anywhere. I want to be she work in the cemetery. But mistake say within the pretense of time, there's always a broken down car along that side. Which is not one, maybe yes, the same place. No. Then I will take time and observe what is going on. No, you know what they do? They use the venue as a drug trafficking unit. That was my first time I made away with about 1 kilo of heroin from the cemetery with an arm on it. And for car na break it down. A bahwa as a sequano as I say or ye be engine mu bibi no na wa discharge yo no milo tin mu that tape hu nyina esili bebia iti those are for tombs na ye dey sesi omo enu mu baako no omo dey koshe another team beba abefa arm no dey protected drug no for a transaction ma hwɛ sa sin